Hi. Okay, this is my second take because I felt like I was rambling. I felt like I was rambling my first take, but I wanted to create a video today about how to change your life in 7 ways. So, this is it. I'm going to be drawing. Right now I'm working on this gal right here. And that's what I did yesterday. Here, I'll show you. A new perspective. I was trying to practice doing more scribbly lines instead of more, instead of more precise, strong lines. Yeah. Anyways, here we go. So, number 1, define your values and your principles. Okay. And I'm sorry, this one, I've tried to beat it around the bush. I've tried to look to self-help. I've tried to look to religion, dogmas, different systems of power to tell me who I am and where I belong in the world. And I find the more I rely on something else to give meaning into my life, the more I feel lost, you know? And I'm just speaking from personal experience, but I truly feel like to be successful in this world, you have to know what your values are, because that is going to influence how you act, how you carry yourself, how you see yourself. And the more you're able to align your actions, your thoughts, and your habits with your values, the more fulfilled you're going to be as a person, and the more autonomous you're going to be as a person. And I find that I really admire people who are confident, but they're confident in a way of that they don't need to try to be anything because they know who they are. And they know who they are because they studied who they are. And to study who you are, you have to take time with yourself. And that can look like journaling. That can look like rediscovering your hobbies. That can look like, just being more observant of your world and not giving in to what, not to be cliche, but like what society tells us. But it's so true. It's so true. Like the way that social media warps our brains and our perceptions of reality, and how the government works in mitigating our anger and try to distract us. Like, the more I'm maturing and becoming an adult, the more I'm realizing how many industries exist just to distract people. Like, truly, everything is a distraction. Everything is subconscious, subliminal messaging to distract you into wanting to buy something. It's to distract you into believing you're not worthy enough, therefore you have to purchase or do more or execute more to be a sort of unattainable version that's been created by different markets and literally just different industries outside of your own knowledge or awareness. And yeah, I think in order to be a more autonomous human being, you have to define who you are and what you stand for, or else somebody else will. It's dog eats, what's that quote? It's a dog eats dog world out there, but not in the way that I'm trying to scare you. If anything, this is more of a form of empowerment where it's getting curious about yourself again, analyzing different people, and learning from other people, right? So just stay observant. Always ask questions. Always be willing to learn. Never be afraid to look stupid, because you'll always gain something from exposing yourself to a new experience. Okay, number 2. Define your goals as habits and routines. So this is basically similar to step 1, but essentially, if let's say you're someone with really big goals, but you haven't been taking action on them, there's a reason why. It's because you think your goals are so big and so unattainable that it's not even worth your time, because where do you even start, right? But the fact of the matter is, if you want to reach those high places, it comes in the slow, everyday actions that build up to that place. Because I think as a society, in American society especially, we are obsessed and we are constantly being fed this idea of like an overnight success, right? Overnight success in the music industry, in the film industry, just someone who's born with God-given talent. And you know, it's we're being fed that, you know, actors and actresses, or actually no, not, that's a bad example, but just like America loves the idea of the young successful superstar, right? Who's maybe 15, 20, 21 years old and they're already doing X, Y, and Z. And it's just not realistic. That's a 1 in a bajillion chance that that's a reality for people. Because the fact of the matter is, it's like, in order to get good at something, you need to put in the work. Like, I'm sorry, it's the truth. I'm learning this now. I thought there were shortcuts to life, but no, there's not. So the only way you can create respect for yourself and for others to respect you is to truly believe. Actually, wait a minute. Let me see something. We're good. In order to create like intimacy and trust with yourself, you need to define those routines, girl, and you need to stick to them. Actually, let me take that back. I think routines is not an accurate word. I just mean more like, you will feel better about yourself the more you act in alignment with what your values are. And by acting, that means creating those habits, those neural pathways. Because when you do something that you can feel proud of later, your brain goes, yee, good job, I'm doing something right, this feels really good. Even if in the moment, whatever you're doing doesn't feel great, it's those endorphins that we're trying to reach for, right? It's how we measure our level of success. So, like, for example, right now, I'm going to the gym more and more because it helps clear my head. And, like, granted, I've never been a gym person, like, ever. I always hated it. I never, like, I just thought it was the most boring thing in the world. But I reframed it in a more fun way where now I'm curious about taking different classes, like different dance classes, and I'm seeing the gym as more of a way to supplement my overall strength. So I think for some people, the way to override the feeling of, I don't want to do this, is just thinking of the overall bigger picture and how you want to feel in that bigger picture, right? Because it comes down to those everyday quiet actions that no one wants to do. Okay, third. So, oh, I like this one. Discover your curiosities. I think when we get older, we begin to just assume that our identity becomes fixed or is solidified. But the more people I meet, especially the younger people I meet, I'm just so reignited with inspiration from just talking to them, because they're the most like motivated and hungry people that I've ever met, where they know what they want to do. They want to change the world. They have big dreams and goals. And it was just a good reminder that it's never too late to just do something, like rediscover who you are again. Like, you're stuck with yourself for a while, so might as well enjoy it and might as well make it your life as enriching as possible. So try new classes, try talking to new people, talk to people at grocery stores, random strangers, make it a mission to talk to one new person every single day. Like that sort of thing, where it's like you are creating more luck in your life by increasing your surface area of connection. And when I say discover new things, that could be new hobbies, new books or shows that you usually wouldn't gravitate towards too, but it just, again, just becomes a new talking point to someone, and again, just makes your life that much more interconnected and rich. So, never, never, never stop discovering. Even if it's hard, even if you're trying a new hobby that you think you're going to be bad at, if you're curious about it, just do it. It's okay to be bad. Who said you had to be good at something the first try, right? Ooh, this is a good one. Number 4, 5, I don't know. But treat your creativity like a fortress. I feel so strongly about this because this also kind of ties into witchcraft as well, and like protection spells. But when it comes to protection, I see the practice of witchcraft, and everyone has a different opinion and perspective on it. So again, take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But they see it more at, when it comes to protection, it's about kind of, to me, all it is about casting spells on yourself as a way to protect your brain, right? And the influences and energetic. How do I explain this? That doesn't sound cuckoo crazy. But essentially, okay, how I see spell work and magic and all those crazy woo-woo things that people talk about, it's actually so simple. It's all in the mind, right? Every fear, just everything is created from our mind and our perception of reality, right? We all have different stories. We're constantly telling ourselves about how reality works, correct? Yes? On the same page? So, and we all think that our version of reality is the most correct because that's how we've been operating our entire lives. But the truth of the matter is, there's so much that we are being fed and influenced by, because essentially we are the sum of our influences, right? So with that said, I believe that if you are a creative person, or if you have creative abilities that you think need to be expressed in this world, you need to protect that with your entire life and then some, okay? Because growing up, I began to value my ideas less and less and less, and that's partially because I think being a sensitive person, I just would quickly assume that people knew better, or maybe I was missing something. But what all that does is just create more distrust with yourself and your ideas and your intuition. It essentially just severs your connection to yourself. And I think a lot of people are in that place right now, especially young people who are getting very existential. They don't know what their purpose is in life. They don't know what they're doing with their life. I have friends that are like, me, I hate this job that I'm working at. I want to quit, blah, 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 blah. And that's because, actually, it's not, I'm overgeneralizing, but you catch my drift. It's because they are not they are not protecting their creative spirit. I truly believe every single person on this earth has a creative spirit in one shape, or form. And creativity can look like a lot of things. It's the act of creation. Maybe that's coding. Maybe that's cooking. Maybe, public speaking is your form of creativity. Every single person has an outlet that they need to protect with their life and build on, because that is, personally, in my opinion, I think when we feel the most expressive, when we are expressing ourselves in the most authentic way, that is God speaking through us, acting through us. And I don't mean, that could be in a religious way, that could be in a spiritual way. It's up to interpretation, but I truly feel when we are in that flow state, when hours can pass by of us doing one activity, um, that's just, that's God. I don't know how else to say it. That's God. So, yes, please protect whatever you want to do with your heart and soul. Truly. Next. I think, okay, listen, I think the majority of ideas are kind of saying the same thing, where it's just a matter of like investing in yourself and investing in who you are as a person and creating an autonomous mindset to like live in this world, essentially. Because I think we live in a time where there's so many distractions and so many ways to warp us into thinking that we are not enough and we need to be constantly hyper vigilant because there's danger at every corner. Like, I kid you not, I've been so anxious the past just couple weeks and days because I think it's maybe the amount of screen time I'm on, or you know, just the current state of the world that we live in. But I think anyway, if you have a way to like carve out time for yourself and again just tap back into that childlike wonder, that is what people need to see right now. That is what people need to see, that you know, like people need to see that and be able to feel safe enough to do the same. That's what I truly believe. Like, I don't know. It is that deep. I think it really is that deep. And I'm sorry if this comes across as a bit woo-woo. I mean, obviously it is, but there are just certain themes in my life that just keep repeating, and I just need to get it out there and get it out of my body so I can just move on. And I think this is one of those things that I sound like a broken record, but I do feel strongly about it because, yeah, we live in a time right now where it's brutal. It's brutal, and we need to take our power back as people and unite as people. We need to build community around things we love and focus on how we can build on things rather than I don't know, isolate and overanalyze and overthink and spiral into self-hatred. So I hope this made sense. This is my partly finished drawing, but here we are. Anyway, these are some tips and tricks on how to change your life. But yeah, love you. Mwah.